Okay, hi everyone. Here's a little thing I was wondering about. I'm going to try and incorporate the idea of vegan days into my weekly diet. Like, I'd always think your diet should be considered what you do throughout a week, period. Not per day or not, like forever kind of thing. I think your diet, everyone says it should be a balanced and varied diet. Sometimes it's very hard certain days to have a balanced diet, but throughout the week you can usually balance it out. Anyway, I was thinking of adding in the idea of throwing in a vegan day, not even a vegetarian day, but a full-on vegan day or two, and maybe mix that in with the regular intermittent fasting that I do. The reason why I got the idea of that was Kim gave me a book called Eat and Run, which is about a long ultra-marathon runner, Scott Jurek, who he himself isn't or wasn't a vegan in any way, but he found that every time he did his big-ass 100-mile runs, he found that whenever he just had like fruit and veg, that he healed quicker, he was able to train more intensely, and that his performance was just better. And he's saying he loved his burgers, he loved chowing down milkshakes, all that kind of stuff, but he found that actually, just from trial and error, actually just kind of eating fruit and veg totally made him be able to do 100-mile runs far more efficiently, and be in less pain, or have a less destroyed body afterwards. So for me, I was thinking, oh right, okay, and the way he wrote it, or in his book, Eat and Run, I'll put a link to it down below, is very persuasive in the fact that he's not like, do it! It's like, he was like, I don't really want to do this, I love eating meat, but for performance, he found that he benefited from it. So I was like, okay, I like the way that this guy's talking, or at least the way that this guy's writing. So I thought maybe I'd like to see if this has any effect on my own performance. So I'm going to try and throw that in. And straight away, now I'm not really much of a chef or much of a cooker in any way, so I'm already struggling, like going, this is going to be dull food. Like, also again, in his book, he gives you recipes in all the foods that he goes on about. So that's like brilliant. You've got it's both a entertaining read, and it's also a cookery book as well in one go, so double win there. But at the moment, before I'm getting into like being vegan or anything like that, it's just more like totally digging into stuff like fruit and veg. So like yesterday I had 4 bananas, 3 apples, 2 kiwis. Today I've already had I've finished all my bananas, but I've had 2 apples already, 1 kiwi. Just had some pineapple chunks, I had some mango and cranberry, and I'm having some almond breeze. Chocolate flavour, okay, that's bad because it's just all added sugar, but generally I haven't had any dairy, haven't had any meat, haven't even had any eggs or anything like that as well. And I know there's different levels of vegetarianism, so you can be, in vegetarianism you can have an ovo-vegetarian, which means you have eggs, I think, and there's one where you can also have fish. There's one where it's like eggs and milk and dairy. Another one where it's where you can also have fish, I think. And then the most extreme would be vegans, which is like no meat or dairy or anything created by animals, including honey. And I was like, oh, really? Honey? I like honey. Honey's pretty good. Not really believing that one, but okay. And anyway, and the idea is that a lot of the idea behind veganism is not so much that fruit and veg is so good for you, although it is. That's wrong. What it's saying is, it's more that the amount of meat that we eat nowadays is just way too much, and also the meat that we do eat, is shit. It's just rubbish. It's just chemicals and stuff pumped into it and all that stuff. And generally you'll see that in a lot of different diets and eating programs and eating plans and all that kind of stuff. They're saying, like if you look at how chicken breasts are made, it's like the breast is chopped off the chicken and then it's pumped with stuff. It's usually just water or saline or something into the. Well, it wouldn't be saline, it wouldn't be salty or anything like that, but it's all artificially inflated with like needles going into all the chicken breasts and stuff. And when you see the mass production of certain bits of food, you kind of go that's nasty. There's a good program in the UK which was about how your food is made and all that kind of stuff, and is asking what is reformed meat, and they're looking at this like ham products and stuff like that. And I love turkey dinosaurs. Oh yeah, or just like turkey ham, stuff like that. I love that stuff. But when you saw the video of how they make it, it's just like meat stuck into a grinder and just minced right. Oh, it was just it's just absolutely disgusting how it's done, and that actually put me off actually eating any ham slices for a good couple of days. So I'm just going to test this out. So far I've done like 2 days or so. I have had honey. That's the only other thing. But I've also totally cut, like in doing this, haven't, like yesterday, I did 5 poos. And I mean like, not like, oh, I've got a dodgy tummy, I need to do a tiny little rabbit dropping poo. I mean, I like proper, some of them were 2 bowlers. So you could call that a 10 bowl day of poo. I was like, how have I got so much shit coming out of me? I don't understand. So that was kind of interesting. Lots of it was nuts and seeds which I'd had the night before. So I've kind of been going, okay, I've probably had almost 2.5, maybe 3 days worth of whatever. And so far I don't feel any negative sides, but however, whenever I'm looking at my diet, I'm just going, okay, carbs, sugar. Where am I going to get my protein? And a lot of sites say, oh, you get it from your nuts, your seeds, yeah, and your kidney beans and all that stuff. So I had beans last night, and that was fine. But I think for me, if I was to be vegan, or if I was to like do vegetarianism with it, you'd have to be much more into your food, much more into cooking and preparing and boiling and sauteing and all that kind of shit. Meanwhile, I'm more like open a packet, eat it. You know, if I'm the kind of person where if eating chocolate bars and crisps were the norm, or was good for you, I would rocket that diet. But in general, it's usually like home cooked meals, which take like 2 hours to cook, and then you just scoff it in 20 seconds. So at the moment, I'm just kind of eating vegan stuff, which is easy enough for me to just grab. So it's apples, bananas, kiwis, packets of pre-packaged fruit, nuts and seeds, porridge with almond milk, more almond milk, more almonds, more cashew nuts, beans. So I need to figure out how I can make some more. Like I'll have like some potato thing tonight, but then I can't have cheese on it, can't have butter on it, I can't have olive oil. And found out for some reason I was thinking, are they allowed to have bread? I thought bread was made with eggs, but I realised that's cakes. So I had bread with tomato puree on it, so it's kind of like a pizza but without the cheese. So in general, at the moment I'm not finding it too difficult. I haven't found it like I'm craving anything because I'm getting all my sugars and my sweets straight away. But I am thinking, and I'm not thinking, oh, I need a burger, I need a sausage at the moment either. But I am thinking, I need to diversify what I would eat if I was to do this for longer per week. I don't think I'd do it for a whole. I don't think I'd do it permanently. At the moment, I don't think I could. And also, at the moment, I'm so jet lagged. I'm waking up in the middle of the night after just being on my honeymoon, and every night I'm waking up at either 2, 3, or 4, and then going, oh, I can't sleep. Why am I awake at this time? So I'm suffering jet lag, and I did a big run the other day, so my legs are killing me. And yeah, I've been to the gym every day. And I did a 20 rep squats yesterday. 20 reps on squats on whatever weight, even if it's lightweight, has a special ability to really cause a good bit of pain. However, there's one thing that I was going to say is somebody just left a comment which I commented on. On YouTube there's a group called the Raw Bras, and they're with Dr. Robert Cassar, Cassar, Kazar, and this 51-year-old guy has got the most amazing abs I've ever seen. So it's like badass. So I left a comment there just saying this guy's awesome. Bravo to him. And then somebody said, I was a vegetarian, not vegan for 1 year. Now I'm eating only chicken meat, only breast, because I want to reach my goal faster. I feel sorry when I think of the conditions in which they live, are born, and these poor animals. Okay, especially since they live about 80% less than they might live in freedom. However, this is not the worst. The worst thing is that people eat a lot of meat containing awful lot of crap and stress hormones. It follows from the conditions in which animals live and die the way. Okay, whoever left that comment, clearly I'm guessing English, not first language, but I get your point. But for me, I would imagine chicken would be probably the most, or at least certainly one of the most, stress hormone filled meat that you could get, if that is such a case. And also, like, I'm sure in the UK we've got this thing called like 12-day chicken, or it cannot be 12-day. It must be like 24-day chicken or something like that. Is where it goes from a chick to a full-size chicken, head chopped off after like within a month or something like that. And you just think, what have we done to pump them with enough steroids or whatever we do these chickens to make them grow that quickly and then be killed? And they're usually in like total battery hens or battery farms, or even barn hens or barn chickens are totally crammed in as well. So generally for me, I'm like, yeah, eat eggs, yeah, eat chicken, yeah, have burgers, all that kind of stuff. But then when you kind of think about it, you like go, no, okay, maybe there's a bit of an idea behind all that kind of stuff. And the whole idea of like the paleo diet as well, which goes, eat what we did when we were cavemen. The meat that we were eating sure as hell didn't resemble anything like what we would be having today, and certainly not in its quantity. So my question is here: A, I think chicken is probably not the best thing to do, but what meat would be good if you were to be having meat? And I think venison, because you don't really have battery farmed deer going around anywhere. So I think venison is probably a good meat there. Again, no cheese, no milk, no butter, no yogurt as well. It's like, that takes out a lot of options. So that's I love my cheese. I love my cheese and my chocolate. Chocolate's got milk in it as well, so you can't really have that either. So effectively, it's like if you want to just do it as a detox way, then it's great, because it's like a couple of days where you're having no crisps, you're having no... Oh no, you can have crisps! Yeah, you can have crisps, you can have bagels and stuff. But the other thing is just like, how do you get enough protein? I think a lot of the like websites and stuff that I was looking at or reading at, it's like, oh yeah, you only need 60 grams of protein a day if you're a 150-pound adult male. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not 150 pounds, I'm nearly like 200 pounds. Okay, actually that's probably not. I'm probably around about 180, 185 pounds myself. But I'm doing heavy weight training. So anyway, the whole point of this is that I want to find out if, as many of you know, I like my adventure cardio, where I go for a jog and I just go off into the hills and just like enjoy jogging around. I love having the fitness to be able to just plod along. Yesterday I did an 11-kilometre jog. It was over some hills and stuff like that, and it felt great. But what I do is, whenever I do that, it really deteriorates my ability to do good heavyweights. So, like, I reckon I could be a lot fitter or a lot stronger if I focused on either or. You know, if I just said, fuck weight training, I'm just going to get fit and run around the hills and be a goat, then if I just did that, I would be a lot fitter, or a lot more capable than what I am just now. However, I love my weight training as well. So if I just said I'm not doing any cardio and I just did weights, heavyweights, then I know I'd be significantly or substantially, no, but significantly stronger than what I am just now. However, I like the two things, and they're two completely separate things, which don't help each other out in any way, I don't think. Like, sometimes running up the hills, I have kind of felt, yeah, my legs feel great, like from the squatting, whenever I'm running up a hill, I feel like my legs are sometimes strong, but in terms of the total amount of distance, never really helps. But so what I'm interested to find out is if throwing in a couple of vegan days, high carb days, high fruit and veg and nuts and seeds and grains days, if that will help me recover from my long distance runs and help me in my weight training. So, interesting. It's just an idea. It's just something, and it's always one of those things which I say, don't mock it until you've tried it. You know, like I remember Youssef in the gym said to me one day, "Oh, Dom, you should try fasting." And I went, "What the hell are you fasting? What a stupid idea! I'm in the gym working out. I need to eat my protein within 20 minutes of this time period of after my weight training, so I get the most amount of amino blah 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 pesh." And then I started fasting, and I was like, "Fuck! I've lost weight and I've got stronger." So whoop-de-doo. So this is something which I originally went vegan, whatever. We would do that, and now I'm thinking, give it a try, see what happens. And if it ends up that my performance totally isn't improved in any way, or nothing is, if I don't feel any better, then that's cool. I can just give it up and go back to eating meat. But I think there are certain benefits to a diet of just knowing what veganism is. Like knowing, like, okay, here's a day of just eating fruit and veg, and just kind of knowing, I now know how much chicken or how many burgers or how many bits of meat that I eat a day. Just something I'm going to try it for a wee while, see how it works, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, bye-bye.